start for the first. The favourite here is Impetuously at $2 and
Thanks, Bordeaux, here at Bendigo on a big night for Victorian Greyhound Racing. It's Pink Diamond night with 12 feature race finals. A lot of prize money on offer throughout tonight's program. We're here on track, Sky Racing Active tab app. You can tune in there for the in-depth coverage throughout the whole card. I'm joined by Corey Smith, Brett Honey. Boys, first feature of the night is fast approaching. It's the maiden short course. Which way do you lean, Corey Smith?
I've landed with Manchester Trev. His first two career starts, he's had box 8 and box 8, comes into box number 3, has shown some early speed in those two performances. I think he'll be able to get out and go, and you never know what's going to happen in these maiden series, so it's always an advantage to be on speed. My numbers 3, 4, 6 and 7. There'll be plenty of rockets to come out of this event.
And Brett Honey, Manchester Trev, he's gone second in his heat and semi-final. Can he break through tonight?
Ready to win patch 3, 7, 4, 8 for me. I've got Manchester Trev on top. I just think that he can break the line here, and in a maiden race, that's just going to be all important. From Impetuously, he's the fastest dog in the race. It's just going to be very tricky from box 7. Disparage is also a big chance from box 4. Just needs to get the start right, and I thought Aston Lorenz was an improver from an outside draw. 3, 7, 4, 8. Teaming up with Corey here, Manchester Trev on top.
All right, it's time to get upstairs with Dan Hibbert, and as we learnt this afternoon on the Grey Areas podcast, he's got his red jocks on, he's ready to rock and keen for a big night of Pink Diamond action. Here's Dan Hibbert for the first.
so they're about ready to run. First of the night. Thank you, Patch, for that drive-by. Love your work. They're getting ready for the first. Favourite in the short course is number 7, Impetuously. They're ready. And they're away. There was good speed out from the centre from Aston Michelle, and she will go to the lead early over Aston Lorenz, and Manchester Trev gets the rail and drives hard, takes the lead. Disparage around the outside, further back to Groot Bale, then came Toss It Up. Impetuous a minute off the lead, and Bash Boy Gill at the rear, but Manchester Trev drove away. Oh, it's nice to see Manchester Trev win with the World Cup kicking off. Manchester Trev easily. Second Disparage, third home was a photo, Groot Bale or Aston Lorenz. They got to Aston Michelle from Toss It Up. Bash Boy Giblet and Impetuously was never in the hunt. 23.853 the time.
Well, he was backed late and he salutes Manchester Trev, who ended up closing at $3.90. And it was a busy start to the race. I can't wait to see the shot from behind the boxes, which told us plenty, especially with what we already knew about Impetuously getting towards the inside part of the track. But Manchester Trev had nothing to do with it. And let's get out to Ethan Christian, who again has Joshy Formosa.
Well, we spoke pretty confidently pre-race about his chances, Josh, and he came out and delivered in spades. How thrilled are you?
Yeah, pretty thrilled. He didn't actually nail the start, but he punched through. He's just a nice little pup on the way up, and 23.85, it's his best run so far. I'll take it. It's a win, and we'll just move on from now.
Do you reckon the lower draw helped bring him out, particularly overall time? I know he didn't spear the lids and lead probably as well as he had the last 2 weeks, but that lower draw aided his chances overall.
Oh, 100%. He was crossing from the pink. Like the first week he got to the front, second week he nearly got there. All he needed was a low draw, and that was the result. Yeah.
And comes from a family of a previous Pink Diamond winner, the Dan produced Flaming Wheels, who won this same race a couple of years ago. So you could have said it was always on the cards. I wasn't going to tell you that pre-race, though, was I?
Oh, and she produced a launching pad winner that I trained too. It's just a good line, and yeah, they're just fast dogs.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you here, and it's good to see you in the winner's circle. We might chat to you a couple of more times tonight. I reckon you got some good chances. So go collect your winner. Well done, mate.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Back to you, boys. It was terrific win by Manchester Trev and well tipped by the boys behind the desk.
100%, Ethan. Some smart operators here. Here's a head-on cut. And, geez, you barely saw Impetuously get down towards the rail, Smithy. She was that desperate for it. And after this shot, we'll see the shot from behind the boxes, which told us plenty. But as I said before, Manchester Trev had nothing to do with it and made the race his own.
Well, early speed wins a lot of races, and that's what you're looking for in these maidens in particular. You see the carnage that occurs in behind. There was obviously nothing untoward by any stretch of the imagination, but they've got pronounced quirks when they start their careers, some of these greyhounds, and sometimes they grow out of it, sometimes they don't. But when you've got a dog that can be consistent in the early stages, in the early parts of its career, and then goes on and does that on a night like tonight, you've got to be nice and happy if you're Joshy Formosa. And what a way to kickstart a night where, he, as Ethan said, he looks like he's got a few good chances.
Yeah, indeed. And for Manchester Trev, Brett, I mean, tipping in both you blokes was a pretty easy watch.
Yeah, we can go home now. It was a nice start,
Perfect
but
time.
look, it was a dog who did all the work. Straight to the front. Well, had to do a little bit of work to get there. Showed a good turn of foot. You can just see a lot of these greyhounds in behind. I wouldn't knock them too much. They're all very green, all very raw. We saw in the heats, where some of the talent was more dispersed, the times they could run. But nevertheless, it was a fantastic performance from Manchester Trev and one to look out for going forward.
And I don't mean to put you under the pump, but do you know run home times here at Bendigo? Okay. We'll have to find out how good that is. We'll get a fair gauge as the night goes on. Smithy, are you across them?
Not all that well, mate. 12:45 I know is reasonable. We heard Jess Hopkins speak about Aston Michelle getting home in about 12:30 in a trial. So to be able to do that from the front and burn the candle at both ends, I think that's a fair indicator that this dog will potentially get a little bit further. He's having a little bit of a blow there, so I'm sure there's plenty of fitness to come as well, Patch. But 12:45 is not too bad.
It looks like
I would say that there was time improvement on the clock, but they only went 660 to the mark, which wasn't what he produced in the heat. So I think there's a significant improvement on the run home.
And a very familiar face, a part of the presentations. Jacinta Allen, the Premier here in Victoria, who's a member of Bendigo. It's a hometown, Smithy, so some fair status out here at the Dogs on a Friday night.
And I think James Vandermaat, who's emceeing the event, probably thinks he's still the most important character out there. But no, it is good to see some support from politicians here in greyhound racing, and long may it continue.
100%. So the maiden short course goes the way of Manchester Trev. And Brett, you think, I mean, it's a small sample size clearly, but he's got what it takes to sort of progress through the ranks, make it in town and do some damage from that point of view?
Yeah, look, it's always an interesting decision when you've got the rookie short course and the rookie sprinter. They've elected to go to the short course this early in the year, so maybe there's a few starts to be had on the one-turn circuit before attacking the city. But that being said, there has been some quite winnable races on those provincial cards on a Monday and a Wednesday, so it'll probably be a slower burn with this dog, but I certainly think one to watch on the one-turn circuit over the next couple of months, that's for sure.
And we heard Josh Formosa speak about this line. He's enamoured with it. He's had some great success with it early, but generally they're speed dogs. They're not the sort of dogs that get up to 600 metres plus. I think these sort of races and then potentially 500 metres down the track, getting out in front and holding on late is probably going to be the go. So maybe this dog will buck that trend, but I'd be tending to lean towards it being a speed dog throughout its career.
Yep, and we've seen some interesting weather conditions, haven't we, over the past couple of weeks? But at least tonight, the track looks in Mickey Mouse order, doesn't it?
It does. When we arrived, they just sent the water truck around, so obviously they're not expecting too much rain, and it looks in fantastic nick. So plenty of credit needs to go to the curators. They're almost the unsung heroes. They're like the footy umpires, to be honest. If you don't notice them, they're doing a fantastic job, and sometimes we've just got to go out of our way to give them a bit of a shout out when the tracks are looking in good nick and racing fairly. And I know you don't get a huge amount of indication with the maidens because they do pinball around a little bit in the early stages, but the track looks in fantastic nick from up here.
Yeah, I know you're a Collingwood supporter, Smithy. Brett, you're a blue bagger, correct?
Yeah, so it's been a stressful sort of first 27 years of my life following Carlton, but no, that's been one of the great parts of moving to Melbourne, going to go watch the Baggers. It's interesting times. I'm certainly glad that we've only got 5 wins on the board for this year, but our average age isn't over 30. So unlike some on the table, I think we've got a bit of youth to look forward to.
I want to get a little jab in as well because I got the mic now, and Brett hasn't seen Carlton win a flag. I've seen Collingwood win a couple, so we'll leave it at that, I reckon.
You sound like that Essendon supporter on the train. Did you see that?
16
last
flags.
week? Yeah. Then it got personal, which isn't too flash. Wasn't a very nice comment. Don't worry about that. All right, race 2 is fast approaching. It's not too far away. It is the Pink Diamond Maiden Sprinter Final. So this one over the 500 metres, and again, Joshi Formosa has a pretty good hand